Hello, this is the Great Basin Prescribed Fire and Smoke Transport Briefing for Wednesday, April 12th. Looking at observed precipitation, it's been a dry week, little to no precipitation across large portions of the geographic area. You can see the percentage of normal here on the right-hand side. Many areas in Nevada and southern and even central Utah into Idaho only getting 0 to 10% of their normal weekly precipitation as the storm track went up well up into the northern Pacific Northwest. 100-hour fuels have started to dry out a little bit in the far south. You can see that golden color in parts of the Arizona Strip tickling southwest Utah and far southern Nevada in the upper single digits, but still not critical, but a sign of the times as things starting to dry out, but still quite dormant and moist further north. New snowfall the past 72 hours, just maybe 1 to 3 inches in some of the higher terrain up in the McCall area and the surrounding mountains. Snow cover on the map has retreated from the valleys and mid-elevations, but still very abundant with near-record snowpack in some areas across the higher terrain. Now for numbers, our snowpack incredibly healthy, record snowpack across parts of Utah and near records across the Sierra front and down into southern Nevada. It is hard to wrap your head around these numbers. 230% here, 216% in Utah, 2,125% down in the higher mountains outside of Vegas. And a better way to look at it is here. So this is in Brighton, Big Cottonwood Canyon, northern Utah. You can see the normal green line here for water equivalent of the snowpack, and you can see that the current levels are over twice as much. So that is the 200% of normal. But you want to see what 2,000% looks like. Down in the higher terrain of southern Nevada, they normally peak towards March 1st, and they start declining. And this green line, this green dot shows where they normally are this time of year. They're almost done with their snowpack, but you can see where they currently are. They are 2,000 times what it normally is. So here's the satellite imagery, deep low pressure system pushing into the Pacific Northwest. A lot of mid and upper level moisture and some clouds. Not really heavy precipitation in these enhanced areas, but definitely clouds, cooler. This is the leading edge of a cold front. Cooler air to the north and west of it. Still warm air along and to the south and east of it. So we look at the weather map for later today, and here's that low pressure area, precipitation moving into the Pacific Northwest and mostly affecting our northern areas. Dry air mass by these tannish shades into the south and further south into Arizona. We actually have high risk, not for our area, but not too far away. Parts of northeast Arizona and northwest New Mexico are under the gun for low humidity, high winds, and some cured out fine fuels, but we are nice and moist here in the Great Basin. You can see those humidities quite dry down in the south, and you can see some of those winds starting to pick up here. This is our backup wind map, but these purple areas show wind gusts of over 25 miles per hour this afternoon associated with that front. Now on Thursday, that front drops further to the south, this green band through here. We're in the trough low pressure. Be a significant cool down tomorrow, probably 10 to 20 degrees across central and southern portions of the Great Basin. You can see our fuel status, fire potential still green. It's still high risk, though, down into New Mexico and Texas, where the humidities are quite dry, but our humidities will be coming up into the 30% plus range across many areas, except for southern Nevada. The winds will be confined to our far southern and eastern areas. And then the trough low pressure moves out on Friday, carrying some clouds and precip into Idaho and western Wyoming. High pressure building in further westwards, no issues on the 7-day. Humidity still bone dry, so we're starting to dry out. Good green up probably going on in effect in our southern areas. Breezes mostly west-northwest at maybe 10 to 20 miles an hour. We see the enhanced colors. Precipitation the next 3 days. Nothing in the south and west. Light amounts further north, 1/10 of an inch, maybe some pockets of a 1/4 inch, maybe a 1/2 inch in the higher terrain of the Tetons. Some of that could be snow in the higher peaks, but snow levels will be going up. High pressure builds back in on Saturday, so there'll be some warming. Here's our next front here across the Pacific Northwest that phases out. So high pressure builds back in Sunday as well. So we see a significant warm up this weekend for much of the Great Basin. And then another cold front and a big trough taking shape Monday. We'll see increasing winds, windy and dry conditions in the south, and then cooler with moisture and precipitation in our northern areas. Precipitation, this will be Saturday through Monday morning, and then Monday morning through Wednesday morning. See that next wave affecting mainly northern areas north of the I-80 corridor. And the 7-day precipitation totals, again, not much further south. They will be going into their green up and everything good down there. Still some light to locally moderate precipitation up north. Now for our 8 to 14 day, this is for April 19th through the 25th. So going into the 3rd to 4th week of April, a much colder than normal pattern shaping up, especially in the northern part of the Great Basin, and a wetter than normal signal as well, much wetter in the north. So the wetness and coolness continues for much of the area. And this concludes our briefing. Have a great day.